Hey ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Detroit Tesla. We are here with the new 12.5.4. Now for this video, I'm noticing some of my longer videos or clips are starting to trend in the algorithm on YouTube, which I thank you guys for watching that, along with these longer videos. And essentially what I'm going to do for this drive is I'm noticing some of the hardcore Tesla people starting to comment saying that, they appreciate the videos. Long story short, but I'm kind of doing a hybrid drive. So for this drive, I'm going to get right to it here. I'm going to drop a pin and we're going to let it drive, let it do its thing. And once it actually gets close to the pin, we're going to see if it pulls over and gets to the destination if it can. Obviously, if I'm impeding traffic or stuff like that, I'm going to let you guys know that I'm disengaging, along with me disengaging for obviously situations where I need to, or if I need to tap the accelerator or anything like that. I'm going to go ahead and obviously do that. Let me make sure these angles are correct so we can go ahead and continue. So we have our first destination set. Let's go ahead and do it. The system is engaged. Eye monitoring should come on because I have my sunglasses off, but the system isn't going nowhere. Attention monitoring unavailable. So I got my sunglasses here. I believe this is the version that does that, but we aren't going nowhere. So I am going to tap the accelerator here. The path planner popped up, but the system doesn't want to seem to go anywhere. Oh yeah, Robotaxi, baby. I feel it. All right, so I'm just going to shut off the system here so I can just get us out of here. That's kind of strange. We did this spot last time, but this is a new version, so anything can happen. Speed bumps, a little bit faster than last time. Still okay though, because they're not that higher up. So attention monitoring is on. I'm going to try putting the sunglasses on, as you guys can see right here, putting them on. And let's see, nicely for that speed bump. Let's see if the attention monitoring will shut off. I don't know if it's this version, I forgot where I was reading, or the attention monitoring will stay on with the sunglasses. So nice stop at the left turn, turning left, great. So let's see. Okay, it seems like the attention monitoring is not shutting off. You can see kind of right here, if you can, from the longer video camera, that the little green dot is next to the yoke autopilot wheel. So that is good. Let's see if I start to move my head. I want to see how they track this thing. I want the car to start yelling at me. I'm looking left. Obviously, you guys can't see my face or my head, but I am looking left. And it doesn't seem to yell at me. Interesting. Well, let's see how the system does. So far, so good. Okay. Last time we went to this intersection, it made a very bold move coming out of here and just did like kind of like a next level AI, seeing past all these parked cars to the left that you guys can't see. Okay, so it's going. It's going. Okay. Good timing. Great. Car was coming behind us, but wasn't rushing. That was excellent. So the attention monitoring seems to be shut off now, because I noticed on the yoke, and you guys probably saw that I went up and down on the scroll wheel. Looks like it got shut off. I guess this is not the version for the attention monitoring. I don't want to go through the autopilot settings while we're actually filming and, technically being driven around. So I'm going to let it go. See what the system is going to do. Okay, attention monitoring is active again. So I guess maybe as I start to look away and think I'm starting to realize how the system operates. It's interesting how it went around that semi, and it also put its signal on to let people know that it's kind of coming out into that lane, which is a pretty normal human thing to do, because obviously the semi has to take up a little bit more space when it does a wider turn. I do believe there's a Lions game today, so you're going to see a lot of people like this on these little go-karts. It's kind of funny, the UI is picking it up as a bike. And yeah, it's kind of going around, which looks like security staff actually. So we're definitely going to head towards Lions Stadium. I think the football game isn't until later, but there are a lot of Lions fans out right now with their gear. So go Lions, I guess. I'm not much of a sports guy, but okay, stopping nicely for the yellow guy, running the red lights. You see that, human? Humans. All right, people coming from the Canada border, the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel. The system can go, oh, I like how it's preparing itself to go right, nice and human-like. Wow, that's great. So far, this version is very human-like. I can see that data of actual human drivers is starting to help a lot. So yeah, it can go this way. It looks like a lot of people are parking for the Lions game. Let's see how we're doing here. Okay, so this, we had trouble last time. Past this light, there is a left turn that goes straight into Campus Martius. Now, last time, the car turned right here on left, stopped at a red light, but then went through, and you can see that there's a no turn on red sign. So, here is the thing. Is that no turn on red sign for going left or right at this intersection? You can't go right, sorry. So is it you can't turn on red when this is red? Or is that no turn on red for going forward? I think it's no turn on red for going forward. So I'm generally curious. I want to ask that Detroit police officer of this intersection right here on Congress and Randolph if that no turn on red is for obviously turning right now and then going, because if you already turned, then it wouldn't be turning on red if you're to go through, because the car went through it last time. So I'm going to circle around here. I think that cop is on his phone outside. Let's see how it's going to handle, because this is where it's supposed to go. This is correct. And okay, there's no police. They're probably like walking around and stuff like that. So if I find one, I'm definitely going to ask. And so essentially that intersection that I was talking about before would be like this. There's a red light here. If you guys are on the shorts camera, you can't see it because it's kind of, the pillar's kind of blocking it. Going through. Now, it stopped on red. From what I understand, you're not supposed to, in most cities in the United States, you can't go through red, but in downtown areas, sometimes you can to kind of alleviate traffic. Interesting. The yoke started moving, and it predicted the light was going to change based on the traffic. Oh, kind of speeding up a little bit, scaring this guy. The AI Terminator is already here, boys and girls. By the way, I still haven't, touched anything, intervened, except in the beginning of this video. Unfortunately, it just didn't want to pop out. So let's see. Okay. So based on where I dropped the pin, it can pull over to the right, which we're about to make a loop-de-loop here. I don't know why. Okay, I'm tapping the accelerator. It doesn't need to stop. It's a green arrow. Proceed. Nobody coming left or right. I was looking. Okay, so it's in the correct lane. That's good, because there's two lanes that go like this, and then they split, and one goes to the right, and that's where we are going based on the navigation point. So that's good. All right, it just needs to stay here. That's good. It can stay in this lane. There's two lanes, actually. I forgot that go right. That's great. Perfect. Now, the point is coming up. It is a green light, but I think it's waiting for this gentleman. So I'm tapping the accelerator a little bit to give it a little bit of boost because there's people behind us, and then the car is getting over to the right. Okay, so this is the destination. I'm going to disengage because we have nowhere to pull over here. I'm quickly going to just type in Lions Stadium, see if it pops up. So Ford Field, perfect. That's what it's called. Jesus Christ, I live here and I don't know the name. So lots of traffic, it seems like. Just to re-engage, there's nobody behind us, nobody around us. So it needs to turn right at this street, but there's obviously pedestrians right here. So you see how it's kind of like going to the left a little bit, avoiding obviously the pedestrians, but also turning. So this is where we're going to have some fun on Grand River here. There are a lot of people kind of stopped here. Looks like traffic is picking up because we're heading towards Lions Stadium. So pedestrians were behind us, but then the system obviously kind of avoided them. Let's see what's going to happen here. He's stopping for the person getting out. Now let's see what the system's going to do. I might have to shut it off here because it's slowly going to go out. And he doesn't realize that I mean, obviously no one's going to know that I'm not driving. So he's like, go ahead. But I'd rather the system be safe, let the people go out. So that's pretty good. It's having a little bit of a dance here with the turn signals. Like, I see that. Like, just go straight ahead. And I don't know what's exactly going on there. Good. Didn't freak out for the guy. You probably didn't see to our left that, you know, was getting in his car. But that's good. Let's see what the system is going to do now. I'm generally curious. Okay, so I'm going to shut off this navigation point because I don't like where that is. I believe this road is going to be blocked off again. But let's, interesting. It's not letting me go towards Lions Stadium. Okay, let's go towards Bush Street. Let's do it. Okay. Guys saw we were taking too long, so... Again, I kind of messed the system up here, but it's not going. So I'm going to tap the accelerator because there's traffic behind us. So maybe it's getting confused by the navigation point. But I think I messed it up. $60 for parking! Wow, you guys are crazy going to those football games. But anyways, I bought a $140,000 plaid, so what am I complaining about? Okay, go ahead. Car's already leading a little bit this way. Ooh, tight squeeze, tight squeeze. Wow, that was super tight. That guy should have waited. He had the obstruction on his side. Could have waited. But this is Detroit, so I'm not surprised for that type of behavior. So car's creeping up. Going to the right. Lots of police officers around here because it looks like the Lions, like I said, are going to play. But we're early. We are early for the madness. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and talk because there's music playing and it's Motown music and then I don't want to get copyrighted. But let's see how the system's going to handle this because there is looks like traffic to the left as we go towards Lions Stadium. I don't think we can go this way. Okay, yeah, guys, I'm going to shut off the system because that looks like we can't go that way. That looks like a whole mess and there's so many people over there. Which makes sense. So I'm, again, trying to be as instructive as I can to tell you guys what I'm doing because you guys always complain. So let's see what happens here. Can't go that way either. So we're going to try going around Lions Stadium to get in some of the mess. So much police around here, presence, which makes sense. Okay, get in the turn lane. Good. I seem to have this thing of where, like, I don't even look at, like, the Tigers or Lions schedules, the two major teams here in Detroit. And I just seem to know when the games are actually happening. So can we go this way? I don't know. But we have pedestrians here, so this is great footage. So we definitely can't turn this way to the left. Can we go straight? I don't know. Because these are things that the system has to recognize, that it can't go certain ways where it's do not enter. I don't see anybody yelling at me yet. So we seem to be okay. Obviously a lot of people in the streets getting ready for the game. Coming really close to these guys, but obviously going to the left and kind of being with them to avoid them. So, not bad. Not bad. So the car can't see past this truck that's parked there. Because we got to go straight. So let's see how it handles this situation. Jesus Christ, $55 for parking. Wow. I remember when it used to be $20 or $30. I remember when cars used to run on gasoline too, brother. So now the car is kind of just waiting. I'm going to give it a second to see what it does. Obviously, it can't go straight because the truck's blocking that path. They're trying to park. Okay, so now he's kind of moving out of the way and he's going to come park. And then we have a U-Haul. So, okay, I was just about to press the accelerator. Now I feel the car kind of like creeping forward and the yoke slightly moved. So I'm going to push this forward, guys, just so I can kind of indicate that I'm going straight because there are more cars here. And I want to give a little bit of more visualization for the Tesla. I know it's technically a hybrid move, if you guys are calling it that, but I didn't know how many cars were behind this van, so I, you know, didn't want to be in that situation or anything like that. So, yeah, they take way too long to park for this stuff. All right, so we do have a path almost. The U-Haul is moving. Guy got out of his truck, and the car is going to proceed. Cool. So the car was just waiting. Thank God the guy got out, because he would have been blocking us too. But let's see. All right, so this is the destination. There's no one behind us and nobody in front of us. I'm generally curious. Let's see what it does, because you're technically not supposed to stop here. And the car does recognize that, so it's not putting on its hazards or anything. So that's good. Let's send this back into downtown to get out of this kind of football madness, because I don't think we're supposed to be here. I don't know. A lot of the tailgates are going around here. But let's see how the car is going to reroute. Let's take that route. Yep, I'm glad I switched it. Okay, yeah, we can't go that way. So let's see where the car is going. Yeah, so we can't go that way. I had to disengage there because obviously you can't go left or straight. And I thought the car was turning. Yeah, so that was kind of my bad. I'm picking a different navigation point, but that's okay. Yeah, being really cautious for that Jeep that's over there, but then it realizes it can go. So yeah, that attention monitoring seems to go and come back. So it looks like we're going right into the some of the extra tailgates, I believe they're called. And we're going to turn left. Oh, no, it's not going to be here. It's going to be the next street. So there still should be a lot of tailgate parties. For those of you that might watch from another country, a tailgate is essentially there's a bunch of empty parking lots around the sports team in America Stadium, and they just sit here and drink and bring mobile TVs and hot dogs and beer and everything, of the idea of pandering with the United States. So kind of slowing down here and going to the left, avoiding the bus that's sticking out. That's good. I like how when it does that, it puts on its signal. So that's really good. Cool. Yeah, so the attention monitoring keeps bouncing between active and inactive. So it seems like it does recognize this version with sunglasses, because again, since I've put on the sunglasses at the beginning of the drive, I have not taken them off. So nice. The AI predicting this guy turning. I think he had his turn signal on a little bit earlier. Nice. I like how he uses his turn signals. I think this is the third or fourth time I said this. I love how it uses its turn signals and realizing that it needs to get into the correct lane to go straight. So a little bit of hesitation on the brake just because the way it was angled was going towards these billiards. But so this is our destination. The car wants to pull over to the right. Destination is actually on the other side, but cool. So it kind of pulled over. I'm gonna disengage the system. There's no one behind us. So let's send this directly back into Campus Martius. I want to see what it's gonna do. Oh wow, it's got a really dangerous path for us. I see a lot of red and orange, which is what we want. We want pedestrian interaction. We want crazy interaction, because if we're going to have robo-taxis, right, this is, you know, going to be a thing. The light is green. I'm going to flash this guy. Go ahead. Because the car is waiting for them. They have the right of way. Right as I flashed them, they turned. So car saw the turn signal, because it can actually predict those things. Saw the turn signal of the car, was proceeding but wasn't sure, was hesitant, and then it realized as it started to actually move the other car, it went and proceeded. That was good. I'm telling you guys, compared to the earlier days, this is just a whole nother level. Like, it's so hard to explain for some of you newer viewers of how garbage this system was in the early days of like 2020 and 2021. And you think it's been like 10 years or something. It's this is only the end of 2024, man. We're 4 years into this pretty much. I believe, now that I think about it, it might be 3 years. October 2021, October 2022, October 2023. No, it's 4 years, even though they launched this in the fall of 2020 with the original 2,000 testers, including Chris from Dirty Tesla, Chuck Cook, the gentleman from, I believe his channel's Black Tesla, and yeah, those were the original guys. Not just them, but obviously. And then I believe Omar from whatever, Hallmark's catalog or whatever it's called. Okay, so we have to get over one. Car's cutting it close. We got some room. Is it going to do it? Of course it's going to do it, baby. This is AI. This ain't no geo-fenced areas. So we can turn left here, and it's this is not even technically the lane that's normal for turning, and it's still using it. So it's being hesitant because these cars are approaching. Go ahead. Thank you. So that was really bad. Hey, yeah, the car is supposed to stop for oncoming traffic. We almost caused a collision. That's pretty bad, Tesla. What's going on, Elon? So, yeah, that was very interesting. While we're here, I'm going to send the car back and do a loop. I want to see the other side of where that person was coming from. Generally want to see. Okay, so we got to get over a lane. This is why I love this company, guys. I'm not no Tesla hater, you know, or anything like that, but it's like, for essentially that, you know, when they preach about robo-taxis, I know it's going to happen, okay? I'm a firm believer that it will. But this whole thing that they're on the cusp of solving it, like anytime soon, I would still give it another 4 to 5 years from the actually data standpoint of collecting data, and then the regulatory approval. So 10 years in total is my opinion, but not from the technology or software point. Because once they gather more data, situations like that will be figured out. But waiting a long time keeping this right turn signal on to get over. So this is the angle that the car was coming from that we almost ran into. So you can kind of see here that there's a right lane, must turn right. The car was going forward, and the Tesla was coming from that direction, turning that way, and it didn't wait. So maybe because the car was going too slow, but you still have to yield, in my opinion. But I don't know, guys. Tell me in the comments. I think I'm with the anti-Tesla crowd right now. Not that I'm anti-Tesla, but all the Tesla haters that are going to be in the comment section if this video goes viral. That, yeah, it needed to yield, as us being the car right now that almost ran into. Yeah, I still think we're 3 to 5 years away of data collection to actually solve little issues like this. But this is cool. I like this. It pulls over. Let's see. Okay. So once it gets to the destination, it's there. Cool. So I'm going to disengage the system because I shut off the point of where we were going. So let's send this back up into Woodward. I like that. More turns, more interactions, more whatever. So the car is kind of waiting. That sounds expensive. All right, kind of waited for those cars a little bit to get out now that I'm kind of analyzing that situation, but not terrible. And for those of you wondering that noise you're hearing when it turns, so unlike a lot of gas cars, I believe some of the German cars have this, but it's called, on gas cars, it's called hill assist. For us, it's something different. It's just called hold. So essentially, even with the system being on, it kind of holds the whole, you know, brake And then when it's turning, it's kind of like, you know, if you go on your gas car, press the brake and turn the wheel, you'll hear something similar. And that's the noise that you're hearing. That's all it is. Lots of action up ahead. Handling that complex situation, due to Denali is impatient, went ahead, the light turned red. Technically, I don't think it ran the red light because it was already through the intersection. But here we are. That was good. It handled that situation great. Pedestrian's danger close to the left. Guy the impatient Denali to the right going because he thought he had more time. And here we are. So, yeah, technically we had 2 disengagements so far. The first one, it just wouldn't want to come out in the beginning of this video. And unfortunately, pretty much halfway through on the second one, we had to disengage because that was a pretty serious situation. You know, if they want to preach, again, robotaxi about that, that's, I don't know. That's not very convincing. Again, obviously it's going to get worked out down the road, but I still believe actual robotaxi rides anywhere are 10 years away. Now, they could do a geofenced area like Detroit or San Francisco or Austin, Texas, right? But, like, nationally, still got time. Still got time to collect data and figure this out, you know? So I want to honk at this Ford driver, but I'm not sure what he's seeing that we're not seeing. Obviously, it looks like he was just on his phone, but car slowly creeping up and slowly avoiding the mess. Nice. Okay, proceeding forward to the intersection, clear left and right. All right, so based on where I dropped the navigation point, stopping for her. And again, this intersection seemed to have a stop sign or something before because it always stops here. So going, we're supposed to go straight, but essentially what's going to happen is that what is it going to do? There is a car to our right. So the car's kind of confused. The planner is going left and right, but it just chose right, kind of like through it. And now this street is blocked too. So now we're in this situation. What is it going to do? Is it going to reroute? It's still got its left turn signal on. I'm going to shut that off because we're probably confusing the hell out of the person behind us. Is it going to go straight? No, it's going to the right. Oh, it already rerouted. I see in the UI. Okay, cool. But what's interesting, based on where it's going, it rerouted, avoiding the situation that we had. Oh, no, I lied. Never mind. Never mind. It's going to go and do a loop-de-loop again. But we're going to go ahead and do that. So this car has its hazards on, pulling over, and Tesla's slowly going around. Lady was waving us. Tesla just taking its time like it should. No need to rush. But let's see if that's where I'm thinking that it's going to run again. I think we're going to go into a loop-de-loop here, which I would hope they solve this, because in my last video we had a situation like this near Campus Martius when they had temporary construction. So yeah, it's going to run this loop-de-loop again. Maybe it'll turn left this time. If it turns left, it can technically get to the destination, but it'll be on the opposite side. So I'm curious to see how it's going to do this. Let's touch this. I'm going to go ahead and just talk for the next minute or two because there is a DJ over there that's usually here for the tailgate parties, and he's playing loud music, and I just don't want to get copyrighted. And let's see, what is it going to do? Is it's going to go right again. Yep, it's going to go right. So let's go ahead and keep talking. No one to our left, nowhere to our right. It's going to go straight forward so I can avoid the copyright of the music. Yeah. So we're going to give it a third time. Third time's maybe the charm. But it seems like it's getting stuck in a loop. So it's slowing down, maybe checking out that biker that's becoming behind the construction. And it seems to be stuck in a loop. This is interesting, but let's see how it does. Car that's still pulled over is here, handling it a lot more nicer. All right, so if it starts veering to the right, guys, I'm going to disengage and just veer left so we can get out of this situation. But again, don't want to get copyrighted, so we're going to go. There are people, danger close. Okay, it's veering to the right, so I don't want to keep the video going. I thought maybe third time was going to be the charm, but let's disengage the system, turn it back on. Excuse me, disengage the navigation, and this is what it is. I just saw this recording, and I wanted to tell you guys that there was a blockade, and it kept going in circles 3 times in a row. It needs to reroute to a different point. So yeah, that's me reporting back to the team to let them know. And now we don't have a navigation point, so let's send this back somewhere. The famous Campus Martius turn. Let's see if it's going to get there. Okay, so now I put it in a situation where it kind of put itself in this situation because I had to, unfortunately, have my third disengagement. So car is creeping up. I don't think it can turn from this lane. Only the lane where that truck is to the next to us. I don't know why I'm all of a sudden not able to speak proper English. Light is green. We're supposed to turn left. What is it going to do? It wants to turn left, but this truck is in the way. Move, truck. And I'm kidding. Yeah, so this is definitely incorrect. I'm going to shut off the system and report that. It needs to get in the correct turn lane. If it can't, it needs to reroute to follow laws. And I know a lot of you might say, oh, it's your fault. You put in this situation. It's not my fault. It's this FSD and the navigation planning's fault because of how it is. And that little loop-de-loop we had, right? Sorry, did a hybrid move, guys. It's just a habit to get over. But it's okay. It's fun to test the system like that. I know some of you, don't touch it, let it drive. It's okay to kind of test the system, put it into more difficult situations. Guy on a unicycle! Electric one, too. Man, how does he balance himself? That's wild. Does he have like a stick in the front? Like an actual like bar? No, he's like freeform. Man, that must take some like actual skill and practice to do that. I would never be able to do that. I wonder how long the battery lasts on that. All right, so I'm going essentially turning the navigation off because I realize it's not going to where I want it to, which is kind of just, you know, where I dropped the navigation point. So that is the route I want to take because I want to do the left turn and kind of go through Campus Martius. Both lanes can be used here to turn left, and the way that the navigation point is set up still likes to hold this first lane when we turn here, which is, I mean, it's not wrong, but it's just like you can use both lanes. And I think that's more of like a Michigan thing. I don't really see a lot of states have that, but yeah, so getting right behind this bus, pulling over. All right, so this is pretty much our navigation point. The last place we're going to go for this video is back towards Campus Martius and that light. Let me put on my hazards, which the car should have did. One last stop. I want to see if it's going to try that famous thing that everybody argued about in my comment section. Yep, that looks right. All right. Turn on, let's go. Nicely predicting this car switching lanes. Beautiful. So it's going to get all the way over. Good. Where it's supposed to be. Now it's kind of being cautious because this car is slowly inching out. So, oh wow, it's letting him go. It's letting him go if he wants to go. There you go. Nice Tesla FSD. Just hurry up, dude, so other cars don't come. We don't have forever. Nice human-like behavior letting him out. Brilliant. Great. So let's see how the system is going to react here. So kind of stopping before the line. Green light. But you see how it's kind of like waiting and not going into the intersection because it's a real tight squeeze with the bus. So it's kind of like inching forward. So it's kind of waiting. But the problem is, if you guys can see on the screen, it is blocking a pedestrian's path. So now it's a yellow light. There's a cop right there. Don't do that. Okay. So now the system's just hanging out. We aren't blocking traffic or anything like that. We're just hanging out. So doing what it's supposed to technically. But what it should have did was wait before the line if it saw that situation a little bit earlier on. Yeah, you can't see it to the left, but there is a row of parked cars. So even though it's popping out, it's not like dangerously close to traffic that's passing us by, even though it looks like it coming from the cameras. It's not. It's completely fine. Okay, light's about to switch, I believe. Okay, green light. Interesting. To their right, there was a couple that were on those like scooter rentals. So I think that's what the system was waiting for. And then it proceeded. Slowly turning the yoke to get in there. Slowly. Slowly. All right, the famous left turn that the experts claim. So it says no turn on red, but we are going to turn here. So now it's in a situation where it's blocking traffic left and right. Excuse me, to pedestrians crossing, because these people cannot proceed on red. So now it's in this situation where it's kind of just blocking pedestrians. So my foot's going to be on the brake. Obviously, it's not going to go anywhere. But, you know, luckily these people are pretty calm about it because I've seen some crazy situations. So the light is green to proceed that way, but there is no turn on red. So let's see. Car stopping from the right. We should have a green light here in a minute. There we go. All right, so what is it going to do? Completely disregards the turn. That's interesting. Strange. Well, it wanted to go straight now, but then it can't because it rerouted. Nice way to end a video. So essentially, I was trying to get the car to turn left at that turn, and from last time, but I guess it just doesn't want to be re-recorded for YouTube again. I don't know. And essentially, the light would have been red like this, and then last version, it just ran through it. Or how the internet says, oh, I ran the red light. And now you see it wants to do it again. Because you saw it inched forward. I didn't do that. Green light. So maybe it was predicting that the light was going to change. That's interesting. But yeah, so let's see if it's going to get to the point where I dropped, which it looks like it will. It's doing like some weird loop-de-loop. I don't know. Let's let this play out. I want to see what it's going to do. So it wants to loop-de-loop and come back this way to get to the destination that I dropped when it could have just turned left. Well, I mean, we're already almost 50 minutes into it. FSD, take the wheel, I guess, right? And I know you can turn left at that stop sign. So before you guys say, maybe you know something you don't, I know it can be turned. It's kind of freaking out over that wheel sticking out. All right, tough left turn here, tough. Big old van blocking it. How it's gonna do this, I don't know. Slowly creeping, then goes. Nice. Or then now it's coming back, which it shouldn't do this, but whatever, more content for us. Protecting this car nicely. All right, we're back. Yeah, so it could have turned left on the street that we just passed, that we originally turned right a minute ago, and it could have just did this. It says autopilot navigation complete, but let's see. Is it going to stop right in front of the fire hydrant? Nope. Kind of right where it needs to be. All right, so that's that. There's no cop around for me to ask about that situation, but whatever. So I'm going to do the most peasant thing possible and manually drive. But final thoughts, robotaxi, not anytime soon. Maybe in a geofenced area. Sorry, guys. I just don't want to wait for the no turn on red. maybe in a geofenced area like San Francisco, Austin, but yeah, it still has a little bit of work. Obviously, this can all get worked out with, you know, different training neural nets and stuff like that. And it's way better than the earlier versions, obviously. But this whole robotaxi thing, that's great. But essentially, I just, you know, 3 to 5 years out before we see like generalized, in my opinion, all over the United States, Canada, and then actually, you know, unsupervised is, you know, I would say, you know, maybe a couple years out. People are already screaming on X, unsupervised, blah, 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 the whole zero thing, 011s and the zero artwork that Korea Tesla uploaded, and people are speculating, and I'm sure they're going to show us what's going on. But yeah, those are my final thoughts. Definitely improvements to the system, and that guy ran the red light. So thanks for tuning in to Detroit Tesla, and I will see you in the next one. Be safe.